How about them Cowboys?
Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and Angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. And yesterday I made a video talking about the good news and the bad news of the most recent Dallas Cowboys moves. The good news, the restructuring of Dak Prescott and a few contracts that's been done, the restructuring of CD Lamb. The bad news, Jerry Jones is saying what Jerry Jones always says about free agency. This morning, I received a comment in my comment section making me go back and actually look at the Jerry Jones interview to see what the entire interview entailed and what insights I could gain from Jerry Jones, if any, to see if there would be given any context from the tweet that I used from Clarence Hill Jr. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, Angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to the first clip from the Jerry Jones interview.
It's a part of really last year's plan, and that is when we made the big commitment to Dak, then what we had to do was think ahead and from within of how to build around the commitment. Again, to emphasize, this is not a year to rebuild at all. Last year wasn't a year to rebuild. But when we made our big commitment to Dak, then the areas that we're in, we had to depend on retaining our top homegrown guys. And if you notice the area we're dwelling in, of course, this also was interior defensive line. We think Smith will come on and be what we want him to be. And of course, we may be there with a top pick early and just according to see how it falls. But the bottom line is, this is a continuation of the plan. As opportunity would come up from without that, not the draft, not from within, as opportunity comes up, we'll weigh it. And last year we would have waited, but we'll look and see the opportunity to improve on the plan that basically both defense and offense is to complement what we're wanting to do with a Dak-led team.
Does anybody understand what this dude is saying, Cowboys Nation? But this isn't the first time that you've made a big commitment to Dak Prescott. You know, this isn't the first time that you've actually put the future first. This is one of the reasons that fans have an issue with the Dallas Cowboys. All Jerry Jones worries about is down the road. All he worries about is the future. What about the here and now, Jerry? What about pushing all your chips into the center of the table and becoming actual players in the immediate success of your organization? Does that come to your mind? Do you recollect that at all, Jerry Jones? Jerry Jones talks about last year's plan. Jerry, what the hell was last year's plan? If I remember correctly, Jerry Jones said that Dak Prescott had to do more with less. Was that last year's plan? From what I'm gathering from this interview is that the plan is to gain enough cap space to sign our own players. But the thing is, you need more than just your own players when it comes to being a contender, Jerry Jones. You can't eliminate free agency because that handicaps your strategies you have in order to get better, in order to better this team. A part of me feels like Jerry just doesn't know what the hell he's doing, Cowboys Nation. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into the second clip from this Jerry Jones interview.
The plan, does that include being more aggressive, I guess, early on in free agency than past years?
I don't think aggressive is the right word. I think when we see a part that a player that can take us in a direction that can improve where we're going to be pretty significantly from where we're going to be if that opportunity wasn't there, for that, whether it be the talent of that individual player or whether it be addressing any perceived places we need help. I wouldn't call us really void in any area void if you include what we're going to do in the draft. I wouldn't see that. So as your question is addressing free agency, I'm not looking at free agency as a place to fill voids.
Okay. So you don't have any voids?
Not if you include what might work for us in the draft and what we're doing with our own roster relative to who we want to sign.
Aggressive is the right word, Jerry. Something that you haven't been for a number of years. Shoot, something that you haven't been in over a decade. Anyhow, he's banking on what might happen during the draft, Cowboys Nation. Who the Dallas Cowboys might draft to help this team. But here we go again, Cowboys Nation, expecting draft picks to come fresh out of college and hit the ground running in the NFL. Like if Luke Schoonmaker and Mozzie Smith didn't show you that you can't expect these players to just be plug and play, then I don't know what will, Jerry. With some players, the transition from college to the NFL, it's seamless. But to other players, they need that time. They need that coaching and the mentorship in order for them to be effective in the National Football League. So what if you draft players that don't have an immediate impact on the team like a Tyler Guyton? Players need time to develop. Do you still feel the same about free agency, Jerry? Do you still feel that free agency isn't used to plug holes? But now let's go ahead and jump into this last clip so we can get to the meat and potatoes of everything in this Jerry Jones interview so we can dive into this raw and uncut. Let's go ahead and roll that clip.
I don't believe that in any way that not signing Dak, for instance, or not signing Lamb hurt us in any way last year on what we did in free agency. I know that's been implied, but it didn't at all, because we had available dollars or could make available dollars to have done what we wanted to do. The point is that apart from having a 7-win season, which is a disruptor and really one that should cause you to get on the edge of your seat and cause you to rethink of any areas that need your attention. Apart from that, what we're doing now is, from my perspective, I was planning on doing a year ago and getting set up so that we could do it a year ago. And when we didn't do some of the things that obviously we got, let's say, criticized for, when we didn't do it, didn't do it for some of the reasons we're doing right now. We were planning on keeping those.
So you had available dollars, Jerry? You had available dollars for, let's say, a Derrick Henry? So you were lying to us last year, huh? Let's go ahead and get down to this. Y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. Jerry, how can you say not signing Dak Prescott or CeeDee Lamb didn't hurt you in free agency? Wasn't not having enough salary cap dollars the reason why we couldn't go out to get a Derrick Henry or a Saquon Barkley? That's exactly the excuse that you told Cowboys Nation in the media. We didn't have the funds to go after them. Now you're talking like it was all a part of the master plan or something? Man, give me a break. Can you ever take responsibility for the lack of movements which caused this team to be subpar last year? The entire philosophy of the Dallas Cowboys was that Dak would have to do more with less. The game plan was to feed CeeDee Lamb because he was the only threat that you had on the offensive side of the ball that opposing defensive coordinators had to actually scheme for. For the past 3 years, we needed key pieces that y'all have failed to get the coaches as well as the players. And when you did move, you got players that were in the twilight of their respective careers. That philosophy is not gonna work anymore, Cowboys Nation. But it really feels to me, Cowboys Nation, that Jerry has absolutely no idea how to create a contending team. If you are eliminating a weapon in your arsenal like free agency, you in turn handicap yourself and your football team. I understand that Will McClay does a great job at scouting talent, but to not use free agency is one of the reasons why the Dallas Cowboys are divisional and done all the time. Jerry said he doesn't look at free agency to fill voids. That's one of the places where you do fill voids. That's one of the places where you do get talent. I'm a fond believer in using free agency to bring a veteran presence to the team that can have an immediate impact on the team as soon as they hit the practice field. You can't guarantee this with a rookie coming out of college. You can't expect a rookie to come in and fill the void of a Zach Martin, Eric Kendricks, or a Brendan Cooks. You saw what that kind of thinking got us when you allowed Tyron Smith to walk out the front door with no plan in sight. I feel there are key positions that should have a veteran presence like defensive tackle or cornerback or wide receiver. Why not use free agency or trade in order to fill those needs? Now, can all needs be filled with free agency? No. You do need to hit a few spots when it comes to the draft, and you have to be able to re-sign players that have great impact for your team. Like I've said before, you have to trim off that excess fat in order to get the team to where it wants to be with the pieces that it needs. Stop holding on to the players that don't have an impact and find ones who do. Do I expect the Dallas Cowboys to go out there and sign every single big name out there? Even though there's some Cowboys fans that expect that very thing, I understand that that's not a reality, but I do expect you to make better moves than what you've made in the past. In order to get something different, you have to do something different. Y'all can't just do the same thing and expect the different results because it's not gonna happen. So, Jerry, my advice to you is this. Allow Steven to continue to build the team that he's building. It was so sweet not to hear from you or see you on the TV screen for the past couple weeks. It was nice to just hear from Stephen Jones while you ducked the media during your court issues. Continue to stay out of the way, Jerry Jones. Can somebody get this guy a shiny object so he can go play and be distracted while the grown men conduct football business? Because if you don't make moves again this year, even more Dallas Cowboy fans are going to leave this team in droves. This has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan. What do y'all think about Jerry Jones? What do you think he meant during this interview? Do you feel we're going to make moves during this free agency? Y'all know how we do it. We always talk about it in the comment section. But if you're digging this content and want to help get it out to even more Dallas Cowboys fans, drop a like on this video and please consider sharing it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and just want Jerry Jones to stay the hell out of the way, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, draft coverage, film breakdown, or Madden 25 or college football 25 gameplay. When Cowboys Nation doesn't have to hear from Jerry, optimism starts to form. Do you feel that, Cowboys Nation? But as soon as Jerry comes back and talks to the media, Cowboys Nation goes back to doom and gloom because he gives us nothing to hope for. Steven, come get your pops. It's time for him to retire and go hang out on his yacht. Bars. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys Fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys Fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.